The M41 was conceived as a direct successor to the M24 Chaffee light tank from World War II. While the M24 served its purpose during the conflict, its main gun proved ineffective against the heavier late-war German tanks, limiting its tactical effectiveness. Post-war, the primary adversary for the U.S. Army became the formidable Soviet T34 medium tank, which was equipped with an 85mm main gun. Consequently, in 1949, efforts began to develop a new air-transportable light tank with improved armament, resulting in the creation of the T-37 prototype. Following the tradition of its predecessor, the T-37 prioritized lightweight design, which inevitably led to compromises in crew and system protection. Drawing from the successful American 76mm main gun, the T-37 prototype focused on this armament. A novel rangefinder for the main gun was introduced in the T-37 design, but it proved overly complex and was simplified in the subsequent T-41 prototype. Following evaluations, the T-41 was officially adopted into service as the M41 Little Bulldog, with production commencing at the Cadillac Cleveland tank plant in 1951. The tank was initially named the Little Bulldog, but after the tragic death of U.S. 8th Army General Walton W. Walker in a Jeep accident during the Korean War on December 23, 1950, it was renamed in his honor as the Walker Bulldog. By 1953, sufficient numbers of the M41 Walker Bulldog were available to replace the outgoing M24 series in the U.S. Army inventory. The M41, initially fielded as the T-41, saw limited action during the Korean War. Externally, the M41 adhered closely to the design principles of the U.S. Army during its era. The tank featured a robust hull mounted on a track chassis, with the driver positioned at the front, the turret in the center, and the engine at the rear. Each side of the tank had 5 double-tired road wheels, with the drive sprocket located at the rear and the track idler at the front. 3 track return rollers supported the upper section of the track system, while the suspension system utilized torsion bars, enabling effective cross-country mobility. The driver occupied a position in the forward left section of the hull under an armored hatch, which boasted 3 vision blocks. This compartment was located beneath a well-sloped glassy plate. The turret, also featuring a sloped design, had thick sides that tapered towards the turret roof. Crewed by 4 personnel, including the driver, tank commander, gun layer, gunner, and dedicated loader, the M41 reflected the evolution of U.S. tank design, which had eliminated the designated bow gunner/radio operator role by this point in history. Crew protection was provided by armor plating up to 1.5 inches, 38mm thick. The M41 was equipped with a single Continental AOS 895-3 Series 6-cylinder gasoline engine, providing 500 horsepower. This engine enabled the tank to achieve a top road speed of 45 miles per hour on favorable terrain and maintain an operational range of up to 100 miles. While offering adequate firepower for the demands of modern warfare, the Continental power plant had a notable drawback: its high fuel consumption, which limited the tank's range. Moreover, the engine was known for its high noise levels during operation, compromising stealth capabilities, particularly when surprise was crucial. Internally, the tank's quarters were perceived as cramped by the average American tanker. Despite these drawbacks, the M41 remained a nimble vehicle with a total weight just under 24 tons, a length of 19 feet, and a height just under 9 feet. Overall, it was valued for its reliability, sturdiness, and ease of handling. The M41 was armed with a 76mm M32 series main gun, which was housed in a traversing turret initially powered by electricity and later by hydraulics. Alongside the main gun, a Browning M1914A4 7.62mm, .30 caliber, machine gun was mounted in a coaxial position and operated by the gunner. Additionally, a trainable 12.7mm, .50 caliber, Browning M2 heavy machine gun could be mounted on top of the turret at the commander's hatch, providing the capability to engage low-flying aerial threats or lightly armored enemy vehicles. The M41 underwent several notable variants, starting with the original M41 production model in 1951. In 1953, the M41A1 was introduced, featuring a hydraulically powered turret instead of the original electrically driven one. This new turret design allowed for a more compact power center, increasing internal storage capacity for the 76mm projectiles from 57 rounds to 65 rounds. The M41A2, introduced in 1956, was equipped with a Continental AOS 895-3 6-cylinder gasoline engine featuring fuel injection. Earlier M41 models were also retrofitted with this new engine standard. The designation M41A3 simply denoted M41A1 production models upgraded to the M41A2 engine standard. The chassis of the M41 was later utilized in the development of the M42 Duster in 1942, a mobile air defense weapon equipped with 2x40mm Bofors cannons. Various nations pursued upgrades for their M41s through different programs, incorporating indigenous main guns, alternative power plants, and explosive reactive armor (ERA). Many of these upgraded variants have since been retired by their respective owners as defense budgets allowed for more affordable modern upgrades. Following the Korean War, the M41 continued to see action in the Vietnam War, a conflict where armor engagements were not as decisive as in previous wars. South Vietnamese forces were supplied with the M41, receiving them in significant numbers from the French. Despite the unconventional nature of the conflict, these M41s performed admirably, showcasing both the effectiveness of the original American design and the skill of the Vietnamese tanker crews. However, despite the efforts of American and South Vietnamese forces, the war ultimately ended in defeat for the South, leading to withdrawal for the Americans and capitulation for the South Vietnamese government. The M41 series was officially succeeded by the newer M48 Patton medium tank series in U.S. Army service. However, the M41 remained in widespread use, with over 1,500 units delivered to the inventories of multiple nations worldwide. Among the largest foreign operators were Taiwan, Brazil, and Thailand. Surprisingly, even today, some military forces continue to operate the M41, despite its high operating costs and outdated technologies.